How's it going, guys? Real Radman here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the wheel to controller comparison on NASCAR Heat 5. So if you guys don't know, NASCAR Heat 5 is the first time I've used a wheel on the Heat series. You guys know I do a lot of iRacing, so I've used the Thrustmaster T150 on iRacing a lot. But FANATEC was nice enough to send me over their equipment, and FANATEC, if you guys have not heard of them, is the top-notch dog in sim racing. They have everything from any kind of wheel you want, wheel bases, F1 wheels, NASCAR wheels, pedal sets, on a budget, not on a budget, anything you want you can get, and they are the highest quality sim racing equipment that I know of, and I think they are probably the highest rated as well. So they sent me over some equipment, and now I'm playing NASCAR Heat 5 on the wheel, and I cannot tell you guys the massive difference that in feel between the wheel and the controller. So that is going to be the point of this video today, is just on NASCAR Heat specifically, just how much is that difference between a FANATEC wheel and the controller, how much smoother does it make the gameplay and everything like that. So here is the wheel itself, already connected to the universal hub, which they sent out as well. So if you want to use this on Xbox or PS4, you can use it. I'm using it on PC at the moment, but as you can see, you have all the buttons in the world compared to my Thrustmaster T150. Way more buttons to my disposal. I think the Thrustmaster T150 had 6 or 7, 8 buttons that I could use. This one, obviously, I can navigate everything, anything I want. If I wanted to play on PS4, which I am planning to use that universal hub on for F1, you can do that. So you can see the podium NASCAR wheel itself is attached onto the universal hub, which includes the shifter, which I have not adjusted yet, and everything like that. You can take the wheel off and use that universal hub with any other wheel you want. So if I was going to get an F1 wheel, I could put an F1 wheel on there to play F1 2020. Now that universal hub goes into the wheelbase, which I have the CSL Elite wheelbase. So you can switch the modes to go into your console or stick it with your PS4. And then as well, your PC, and then you stick the universal hub into the wheelbase, and there you go. The wheels, it can easily detach as the wheel comes off of the hub. You can replace wheels if you want. If you have a NASCAR wheel, an F1 wheel, a Ferrari wheel, a Porsche wheel, you can just switch them in and out, and all of that. The only thing I have not completed is the shifters. I have not adjusted the shifters yet, but as you can see, you just turn it on. It calibrates real quick, takes about 5 to 10 seconds, and then you're off on your way. And I will tell you right now, guys, the force feedback is something I've never felt before in my life. The wheel base itself is motorized, which means, as you can see, you don't need a full set. You can just buy the wheelbase and mix and match, like I've been saying in this video. And then to round it off, you obviously have the pedals. And so I have the CSL pedals in addition with the load kit. So the load kit is an accessory which you add the brake pedal, which is much more pressure based, and it's the first time I've ever had a load kit brake pedal. It makes a massive difference. I'm still getting used to it. It takes a little bit of time because I'm so used to a certain brake pedal. It's going to take me multiple hours, and I have not yet gone on iRacing yet to try it out, so that's going to take a little bit of time. Now let's get into the side-by-side comparison. On the left you have the wheel, on the right you have the controller. I've played controller on Heat 4, Heat 3 too, so I'm still used to it. But Heat 5, you could just see, even entering the corner, I have much more control over the wheel. I can run the bottom line I want, but on the right you can see I keep sliding up a little bit and then coming back down and sliding up a little bit. And that's just because there's only so little movement you can have in a thumbstick. Your thumb is always going to move the stick around a little bit. If you have to try to correct just a little bit, then you have to move it back to the right, and it kind of overcompensates for it. When on the wheel, you have so much range of movement on the wheel, and you're able to keep it so steady that it makes a really, really big difference. You can see on the right, I continue to slide up, but on the left, I don't. And we head into the chase view, and you can see it a little bit better as well, because on the right you will see a little bit more twitchiness, a little bit more just, you can literally see me on the thumbstick, I'm just kind of twitching back and forth a little bit, when on the wheel it's just steady as a rock. And it's weird because on the wheel you are kind of seesawing it a little bit, but because you have 900 degrees range of movement, you're just so steady, you're so calm, you're so in control of your car. And so that's why playing this game on a wheel, I've been saying this, it's a very big difference in terms of what I can do when racing around AI and what I can do myself. I feel so much more comfortable with the wheel. I feel so much more in control with the wheel. And it just feels so much better. So you're going to see this with the AI drivers as well. So we're going to take this and put some AI cars around us and see what happens at Kansas. The first clip is going to be the one with the wheel. The second clip is going to be the one with the controller. Now what you're going to see in this 5, I'm going to just do 5 laps here, one on the wheel, one on the controller, and this one's the wheel. when you're racing around AI, when your natural instinct on the controller is I have to a little bit overcorrect here and there. You can see I just kind of run into someone there, right? But you saw my car, it never actually really changed any direction. And that's the biggest thing I noticed on the wheel right away. And I think you guys have noticed it in my early gameplay videos as well, is that when I race on a wheel, I kind of I have more control of my car, and sometimes when I want to hit someone, I can just do it on purpose. But then again, like on a controller, I had a lot more accidents, a lot more wrecks, a lot more hitting someone. On the wheel, it doesn't happen as much, and the reason for that is, again, you just have so much more control. The car is so stable. You don't see the back end twitching. You don't see me kind of moving around there. I could get as close to the wall as I want. I scraped it there just a little bit, but I was kind of letting the car gradually slide up to the wall. And then I could just kind of wait. If I want to go low, I could just look. The car is so stable. There's no twitching of the wheel or anything. No twitching of the car. If I want to stick it middle 3 wide, this is the biggest difference here. If I want to go in between 2 drivers and go 3 wide in the middle, or even make it 4 wide, I can really hold my line. I can really kind of judge exactly where I want the car to be. So I wanted to see if I go 3 wide there again. I couldn't, so I was like, alright, I'm just going to gradually turn it down. Let off the throttle a little bit, squeeze up, slide right back up. I can get as close as I want. Then we go back down to the bottom. And again, just you see no twitching, no me turning back to the right. If I want to slide right up to the wall, I can. I don't get loose coming off the corners. I'm just nice and steady through the tri-oval. And it's a really big difference. I think would also improve lap times as well. I haven't really made a direct comparison between if I run 5 laps on the wheel and 5 laps on the controller, which one am I faster in. I think that the game is still very balanced in terms of, or you could be fast on the controller and you could be fast on a wheel. But the one thing the wheel does give you is just so much more control over your car around other drivers. I can put it exactly where I want to put it. I could just be very careful. I could ride right up against the wall. I think that's one of the biggest things I've noticed is I can ride right by the wall and I don't have to be scared of hitting it, because even if I make a little mistake, if I overcorrect on the wheel or if I need to turn it back to the right, I know that my car is not going to jerk to the right. It's going to make this natural movement. And you can see when we're battling with other drivers, just nice and steady, able to carry on my way. I get in a clean track, and then we try to just bust out natural lap times. And even with loose setups, it's not nearly as loose. I think the wheel allows you to drive a looser race car because you can let the back end slide more and you have much more control over it. So now we go to the controller, and you'll see a few differences over the next 5 laps, and I'm trying my best to keep the controller steady and everything. And you'll just notice right off the bat, just getting up to speed, you can tell I'm not nearly as smooth. I'm kind of twitching back and forth on the thumbstick. And I would say I'm probably, I've been playing these games all my life on controllers, so I have a pretty good memory, like muscle memory of my thumb being on the thumbstick and how I need to control it and to limit the amount of movement that I want on that thumbstick from the car. But right off the bat, even entering the corner, you could tell there's just a little bit more, it's more sudden movement. You could tell if I get on the gas quicker, get off quicker. You can tell if I make this certain movement here, or I wobble a little bit in between cars like I am in the tri-oval right now. It's very subtle, but you can easily tell. I can't really position the car exactly where I want it to. But if I get into a point in the middle of the corner, I can. Like if I hit the throttle in an exact way, I can control it. So right here, I'm middle 3 wide between Newman and McDowell. And even though it's not as smooth as the wheel, you see I'm making a little bit of contact here and there. It's nothing drastic, right? You could get away with it. It's just on a wheel, I don't feel like I'd be making that contact. In the controller, I do, because I'm just trying to adjust the thumbstick. So you can see coming out of the corner right there, I had to make that little overreaction because I knew I was getting too close to the car on the bottom, but I couldn't hit Haley. So I got loose coming out of the corner. There I hit the wall because I didn't want to kind of turn it too much to hit LaJoy, so I didn't have as much control and I wasn't turning enough, and so I hit the wall there. So those are the slight movements between a controller and a wheel that it's really made me like contemplate, can I even ever go back to racing this game on a controller? I feel kind of uncomfortable now when I do it. I feel like racing on a wheel has made me better at the game, but if I go to a controller, I'm actually worse than I was before because I've gotten so accustomed to being so stable on the wheel. It's kind of freaky to think about it. On iRacing, you don't have a choice, right? You go with the wheel and that's it. Like you could choose which kind of wheel from different companies, but you race on a wheel, and that's the way to do iRacing. But on a console game, you like to have fun and go back to a controller, and sometimes wheel controller. But now with this game, it's like I can't go back to a controller. It's the weirdest thing, because I honestly thought even with the wheel I would be able to go back to a controller, and now I don't think I can. at least with NASCAR Heat 5. It's just the wheel is so good, and it makes the game drive so much better. So again, the game is still good with a controller. The majority of people who drive with a controller, but you can see I'm making a lot of mistakes here, probably because of my rust with the controller, but also because I just really prefer the wheel. So to round it off, I'm going to let the two clips sit side by side, and I'm not going to be talking over them, so you guys could just see direct comparison side by side. You can see kind of the same movements and the differences.
Careful, still there. Clear high, clear high. Still there. Stay low, clear up top. Very wide, clear low. Inside, clear all around. All clear, going down, clear high. All right, you're clear. Stay on the bottom here. All right, you're clear. All clear, hold your line. Clear low. Clear all around. Hold your line, got one outside. Hang tight there, drivers. All right, clear outside. Clear low. Stay high, stay high. Bottom clear. Still there. All right, you're clear. All right, clear outside. Highway clear. Inside. Hold your line. You're all clear up top. Careful, still there. Inside, hang tight there, driver. All right, clear outside. All right, you're clear. All clear.
So hopefully that gives you guys a good indication of the wheel versus the controller. If you guys want to check out any of the FANATEC equipment, I've left all the links in the description down below. Highly, highly, highly recommend if you want to get into sim racing and you just want to do it either on the Heat games or on iRacing or on F1 or on something else. FANATEC. FANATEC is the way to go. You can buy each part as you need to. You don't have to buy it in bulk. If you just need to buy a wheelbase for now, you could just buy the wheelbase. If you just need to buy a wheel, you can just buy the wheel. You don't have to buy, or just need to buy the pedals, you could just buy the pedals. You don't have to buy everything at one time. And if you need to switch out wheels and stuff on the wheelbase, you can do that as well. So highly recommend FANATEC. Please go check them out. Links in the description below. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you are not already. Again, huge thank you to FANATEC for even allowing me to experience this and have this equipment now. And I'm very grateful and very humbled. It's insane what kind of what sim racing's gotten into with technology nowadays. So it's crazy. I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Stay safe and peace out.